Welcome in. We're the Real Selection Committee. I'm Mike. This is Greg. And we're here to talk about the championship week this coming up this weekend. This is a fun time right here. We get to see all these games on TV, watch all these teams play for their conference championship right here. They get to win whatever conference they're in. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. 9 conferences, 9 games. All of them are going to be fun. They're all good matchups. So let's just get it started.
Right. So we're going to talk Friday day they start. Friday night, I should say. Western Kentucky is going to play Jacksonville State. Right now, Jacksonville State is favored by 3.5 points. So how do you see this going?
Well, this will be a tough game to call because we haven't spent a lot of time covering these two teams. They did play this past weekend in a season finale that Western Kentucky needed to win to get in, and obviously they did. Jacksonville State didn't need the game because they were already in. Jacksonville State started 0-3. They ended up 8-1 down the stretch, so that's pretty good work on their part. Western Kentucky, they got clobbered by Bama and Boston College, but, here they are in the championship game. I'm probably going to take Western Kentucky to cover. They were the better team in my mind at the beginning of the year, but I'm not 100% solid on that because Jacksonville State's pretty darn good too.
I'm going to go with Western Kentucky in this game. I think they're probably the better team in this matchup right here.
Like I say, I think so too, but keep in mind, Jacksonville State did not need to win that game to get in. So did that factor in? We'll see.
Yeah, right. So the next game we're going to talk about is Friday night at 8. UNLV, this is for the Mountain West Championship. UNLV versus Boise State. Right now, Boise State's favored by 3.5 points. What do you see in this game right here?
Well, it's the only way this conference should have come down. Boise State, obviously 11-1, the favorite. UNLV 10-2, maybe the country's darlings. A lot of people don't realize UNLV's good. This is a great game. Boise State's going to win and cover, I believe, but I think just like the first game, it's going to be lights out. It's going to be a one-score game.
Yeah, right. Like you said, these teams have met up this season, right? UNLV played Boise earlier in the season, and Boise won this one 29-24. I think this is going to be pretty much the same. They're both the top 2 teams in this conference. Like you said, this is the best matchup, 11-1 and 10-2. This is going to be a fun match here. I think Boise State's got bigger sights ahead of them, and they want to get in these playoffs, which I think they will. When they win this game, they're even going to get a bye. So this is a lot on the plate right here for Boise State. So let's see them. They got that amazing running back, Austin Gentry, who I think is probably, if he doesn't win the Heisman, he's really close. He should probably, because what his stats are is amazing.
And I think with Tulane losing, UNLV will sneak in the playoffs if they upset Boise. We'll just wait and see.
Right, that would help, that's for sure. Yeah. And then the last game of Friday night is the AAC, Tulane versus Army. Tulane's favored by 4.5. How do you see this game?
As we just mentioned, this game lost a lot of luster with Tulane losing. I think had Tulane have beaten Memphis, which they did not, it would have added to Army's resume if Army could beat them. And we all had talked about that Tulane was that second team behind Boise, that if they had won and Boise slipped, they might grab that spot. Well, Tulane took that out of the picture. Tulane's the better team. Army's the better story. I'm going with Tulane to win and cover. I think this sets up a bowl game between Tulane and UNLV.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I agree with there. Army, what a great story they are at 10-1. Tulane's 9-3, and like that lost Tulane to Memphis, like you said, I think closed any hope for one of these two teams of getting in. All they did was open up a door for an SEC school to getting in there, which it really hurt these two teams. But with that being said, I'm going to choose Tulane. I think they're just a better team right now. They got a better roster. I think they're going to beat Army, and it's going to be a fun game nonetheless.
Absolutely. absolutely. It's all the marbles for these two.
Yeah, winning the championship's always good to do. So, so we'll step into Saturdays when the rest of these games are being played. First game of the day we're going to go with is Iowa State versus Arizona State. Arizona State's favored by 2.5. How do you see this game playing?
This is a tough one. I've been favored towards Arizona State. I like what they've done, especially recently. But Iowa State, I've been high on them all year as well until they had that little moment where they lost their mind for a couple weeks. I believe Arizona State gets it done. I believe they cover. I'm taking Arizona State in this one. Close, but still taking Arizona State.
Right. Hey, this is a good, fun game right here. Arizona State, they're favored by, 1.5 points here. This line keeps jumping up and down, and, it's up and down, and who knows? It's almost a pick'em game pretty much. That's how it is. Iowa State started out at the beginning of the year, the higher seed, looking like they were going to be a shoe-in into these playoffs. They stumbled and lost 2 games, and then now you got Arizona State that beginning of the season projected or picked to be dead last in the Big 12. Now they're fighting for winning the Big 12 and getting into the playoffs. So this is above expectations that Arizona State has done. And Arizona State's beating all the top teams in this conference, so they are doing what they need to do, and this is why they're where they're at, right? That's so. I'm tossing up on this game here. I don't know who to choose on this game. Arizona's the hottest. Iowa State is probably the better team, but Arizona State's so hot right now. I'm going to go with Iowa State to win this game. It's going to be a fun battle. It's going to be fun to watch, but I got Iowa State winning this game.
Go either way.
All right, so now we'll move on to the next game here. It's going to be the MAC. We got Ohio versus Miami of Ohio here. The line at this one is Miami of Ohio is a 2.5 favorite.
Maction. This is a conference that you can't never know what's going to happen. Keep in mind, Northern Illinois that beat Notre Dame is in this conference. Toledo smoked Mississippi State out of the big rough SEC. They're in the MAC. And neither one of them are in this championship game. So we got Miami of Ohio at 8-4, playing Ohio U at 9-3. These two teams did meet in the regular season. Miami of Ohio beat them 30-20. I expect more of the same. One thing you do got to remember about MAC teams: a lot of their losses come from Power 4 big conferences. So these teams, when they get it on with one another, you just never know what's going to happen. It's going to be a great game, but I'm taking Miami of Ohio to win it again.
Yeah, these are fun games to watch, these smaller programs, as you would say, to play. Like you said, Maction, what a great title for it. I'm with you. I think Miami is going to beat Ohio. It's fun to watch, though. I mean, it's great exposure, and hey, winning the MAC championship for these teams is like winning the title. So what a great game.
It's a big deal to them kids, I'll tell you that.
Right. All right, so let's go in, and this is the big game right here at 4 p.m. We got the SEC game. We got Georgia playing Texas. These two teams met up. Georgia beat Texas, so now here's our rematch set up. And Texas is favored by 2.5. So how do you see this
Here
game?
we go again. And we said last week, the SEC is a victim of its own power, right? They have so many good teams in this conference that they, I think they beat each other up to the point where they're only getting 4 in to the playoffs. Georgia, I think, I think a lot of people think Georgia's going to repeat. I think Texas gets it done. They cover. It's kind of a pick'em game anyway. I'm taking Texas in a 31-28 battle.
Yeah. This is a great game right here. This is going to be fun to watch. Everybody's probably going to tune into this one here. Georgia's that Jekyll and Hyde team, right? They're that team, Ole Miss smacked them around 28-10, and then they go beat Tennessee. They beat them up 31-17. They beat Florida 34-20. I mean, a common opponent right there between Texas and Georgia is for that Florida. they both beat them up pretty bad. I mean, this is going to be a close matchup. Texas, their schedule, that win against Texas A&M last weekend or this weekend was a big win. I think they dominated that game, and they had a couple turnovers in the red zone where they couldn't run and score up on them. They won 17-7. But to me, I think Texas is all around better. Their defense is better. Their offense is better. I think Texas is going to win this game and split this series here. I think they're going to cover that 2.5. They're going to win this game, I think, by a touchdown or more. This is going to be an interesting game here. Texas is going to get that either 1 spot or 2 spot in this tournament here, and Georgia's going to end up hosting a game, I think, after this lost.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. Next game on our list is going to be Marshall versus Louisiana right here. Let's see what the line is going to be on this one. The line is Louisiana's favored by 4.5 here.
Sun Belt Conference action.
Sun Belt,
One of the few conferences that still has the directional, the East, West, or North, South. I don't know which way they go with that, but they still have the 2 conferences in it. And for those of you who don't know much about it, the MAC is to the Big Ten what the Sun Belt is to the SEC. So that kind of gives a little clarity there. This is a pretty good, fun conference as well. Marshall's 9-3. Their two big losses were to Virginia Tech and Ohio State. And then they lost to Georgia Southern, which is one of the better teams in this conference. However, Marshall went 8-1 down the stretch. Pretty darn good. Louisiana is kind of the team that runs the roost in this conference. Usually they're 10-2 this year. They're usually that team that's always, as I said a few weeks ago, they had a shot at the group of 5. I'm going to take Louisiana to get it done as much as I'd like to take Marshall. I think Louisiana gets it done. They're the better team.
Yeah, you're right. Louisiana is the perennial dominant team in this conference right here at 10-2. Marshall's a great story here at 9-3. Like you said, they ripped off 8 wins in a row here to get into this game. I still think Louisiana's going to beat them by that 4. They're going to cover that. They probably beat them by 10 points. But it's still going to be a fun game to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Next game we're going to talk about. This is a big one here. We got the Big Ten. We got number 4 Penn State versus Oregon. Penn State got in by Ohio State losing here, and this is a big game for Penn State. They could win this game and be a 1 or a 2 in this tournament here. And what a good statement there. They have all kinds of opportunity right here. So Oregon's favored by 3.5 points.
I'll say it this way. Oregon better not be breathing a sigh of relief that the Buckeyes aren't coming to town, because Penn State has looked like a different team since they got beat by the Buckeyes. And Penn State was really a goal line stand from tying that game and potentially getting the momentum to beat Ohio State. So this Penn State team is for real, gang. They have a shot. They're not going to get blown out by this Oregon team. Oregon's got to come east. This game is here in the eastern part of the country, in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a good game. I'm still taking Oregon to win. I think Oregon wins a 28-17 style game, but this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, this is a good game, and this is everything for Penn State right here. They snuck in the door right here, have all kinds of opportunity with the Ohio State loss. Penn State's got a great defense, is going to keep them in games here. A decent offense. Oregon, without a doubt, is the best team in the conference. And like you said, it's hard to be undefeated all year long. Is this an opportunity for an upset right here? Most likely not. I'm thinking this is like a 24-17 game. I think Oregon's going to win this game right here. But what an interesting story right here. It's going to be fun.
Certainly not the game we thought was going to happen, but it's still going to be a good one.
Yep. So the last game of the weekend right here, of the championship weekend, is ACC championship. Clemson going against SMU. Clemson snuck in the door because Miami couldn't handle business. Now this gives them an opportunity because if they win this, they can get in. They're definitely getting into the playoffs. If they lose it, they're not getting in. They don't have a shot.
Wow.
So there's a lot on the line here for Clemson, and SMU's been playing great this year.
I'll say it this way, and of course, my rankings don't reflect the power rankings, so I might not be right with this. But in my opinion, SMU has done enough to be in whether they win or lose. So if Clemson wins this game, which I don't think they will, but if Clemson wins, I think it could lock those teams that are 13 and under out for sure, and might bump Alabama back out. Okay, because SMU's 11-1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They play in the ACC. They're not playing in these little conferences like we just talked about.
Yeah.
So this is a Power 4 conference. SMU should be locked in. Clemson needs to win to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I think SMU wins the game. I think they're the better team. It'll be a good game. I think SMU wins by a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, that is an interesting topic right there. Like you said, could the ACC get in 2 teams? If SMU loses, hey, that's 11-2. That's still a good record right there. And I think you're right. I mean, it might bump Alabama back out of the equation, or who knows if Clemson wins this game and gets into the championship. To me, I think Clemson's going to win this game. This is all the marbles right here. This is the opportunities what Clemson wanted, right? They got backdoored in because Miami losing.
Yep.
This is a chance right here for them to get into the playoffs. They got a lot more to play for, but SMU's a great team. Man, I'm gonna go with Clemson winning this game, but I think that 2 points right there spread is a field goal.
Kind of ridiculous to even give a 2-point spread.
Right. So I'm going with Clemson in this game, but man, this championship weekend is going to be fun.
Yes,
it's going to be good. I mean, this could change a lot of the seedings right here a little bit. Maybe sneak in a team, maybe knock out a team. So
yeah,
this is going to be fun here. We're going to enjoy it. I know that.
it's a good early look for how the playoffs are going to work.
It is, yeah.
Because, it basically these have playoff feels to them.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are going to win some hardware, so that's what these guys are going to play for. So this is fun here. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Hey, like and subscribe. It's real easy to do. Catch you next time. Peace.